Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to Lone Oak Farm, and we are now into autumn. It's the first day of the season and we're going to be doing more harvesting. We are going to be harvesting our wheat today, so this field here, field 43, and then field 45 just over there. They are the two fields we're going to be harvesting today. Our sunflowers are ripe and ready for harvest as well. Our corn still hasn't finished growing yet though. That is still in its final stage of growth, so we can't start the corn harvest just yet. And as you can see, we've got a couple of bad days of weather coming up in the not too distant future. So it looks as though tomorrow we'll be harvesting our sunflowers, given that we're going to have cloudy weather tomorrow. That should still be fine for harvesting. Then we've got wet weather for days 3 and 4, as you can see. And then day 5 we've got good weather, and it looks as though day 5 is going to be the day of our corn harvest. So that leaves us days 3 and 4 for doing a little bit more silage work, and also doing our beet harvest as well. Now our equipment should be turning up for the beet harvest. Excuse me. Our beet harvest equipment should be turning up a little bit later today, so we're just waiting on the last bit of that to be delivered to Manning's, and then that'll be brought down here for us. And as you can see, I have gone ahead and replaced our headers. So the corn headers that we had before that were getting clogged up in there, those have been taken and sold, and we have replaced them with these 9-meter K-SAR headers here. So we have one each for each combine, and they're going to live in this little bit here just in front of the combines in these bays, and that frees up a lot more space around the back, which is kind of what we need. So that's where our two grain headers will live, in that section there, and we don't actually need those anymore for the rest of this year after today, but we'll keep hold of them anyway. So let's get those doors open there. Just close that up, and let's start driving our equipment out of here. So we need to start off with the auger wagon, and the great thing is we can go straight out from here, as you can see. So I'm just going to park that there for a second out of the way. Now normally I would bring the pickup over to pull out the headers, but we don't need to do that because we're starting work pretty much outside the depot. So I just need to pull these out onto the grass essentially and hook up as soon as they get outside, and then we can go straight onto the field. So we pull that round to there. There we go. Let's just jump out the tractor. We'll grab our first combine. Get this reversed out. There we go. We'll swing around, grab that header, and then, as I say, we can make a start straight away on our harvesting. So there we go, header hooked up. Let's get the combine unfolded. I'm going to do my headland along the bottom here just to make sure that we don't end up damaging our sunflowers at the end of the pass. You can see we've got that little lump just in front of us there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and attack this at a slight angle. Try and avoid getting the header caught or damaged. There we go. So that combine is off and running. Let's get the second header out and the second combine up and running as well. Oops, just turn the engine off. I'm getting confused as to which way I need to turn for a second there. There we go. reconnected to the auger. Grab our next combine. There we go. I need to kind of figure out where I'm going to store the beet harvesting equipment. We might need to get another shed constructed potentially for that. I haven't quite decided where that equipment's going to live just yet. It's going to be fun trying to figure that one out, I think. Might have to reorganise the main shed at the farm, although we could possibly try and get another shed around here constructed. What I might do is I might ask Sam if I can just leave the equipment at Manning's for the next 24 hours or so, or the next day or two, while I get that shed constructed. So let's try and straighten up this line a little bit if we can. There's the other combine. We'll have to take control of that again in a moment. Almost there. Okay, so if we straighten up now, there we go. Let's jump into the other combine. Oh, he's turned into the crop. Alright, hope he backs up all the way to the beginning. Just get those wheels out of the crop. There we go. This one wants to be about there by the look of it. There we go. So let's jump back into the first one. We're going to need to send that across the top and do a headland across there as well. Again, partly because I don't want to damage the next crop, which is the corn, and also because we're going to have collision issues with the tree if we don't do it. So we're kind of bordering off this field, and then it'll be a case of just chasing after them with our auger, whizzing back to the farm where we can to unload that, and ploughing through this field nice and fast. We should get this one turned over pretty quickly. It's not a particularly large field. And it's you know, once we've got these twiddly bits done here at the start, it's going to be pretty straightforward. Our combines can just run up and down quite comfortably. And you can see our other combine almost full there. Again, we're going to do a double headland across the top here as well, just again because of the tree more than anything. So, I didn't quite judge that right. Look. Okay, that's a bit of a problem. Can I get to the top before I fill up? I don't think I can. I've just got just over 10,500 litre capacity. I'm about to hit that, so just to make sure that I can actually get out without damaging anything, let's cut out just here. Like so. There we go. Get it backed up. There goes the other combine almost full. It's getting close as well. So it's going to be a little bit clunky just to get us started. I'm going to come back and attack this from the bottom of the field again. I need to turn our other combine around, I think. Oh no, he's about to start his second pass. That's fine. I turn around here. Get the worker in position. And if I go grab our auger, we can get this one emptied and do that last little strip, and then we can start splitting this field into two pieces. Looks like our other combine might be... Yep, there you go. There's the other combine full as well. So a bit of a clunky start because they've both stopped on the field, but now that we've got them in position and we've got our Magnum back up and running, this should be a pretty smooth operation from here on in. So we are now cutting a singular path down the middle with one of our combines so that we can split the field into two sections, and when it gets to the bottom we'll make sure it turns right. Then we'll get the other combine started, and then they'll be staggered and we'll be able to unload them. Actually no, this one needs to turn left, doesn't it? Okay, so I have to reposition the other combine. My directions mixed up a little bit there. There we go, so this one needs to be here. Like that. Am I doing this right? No, I'm doing this wrong. This needs to go back up to the top. And we want these to be staggered in their unload as well as their direction. So by doing it like this, as long as I make sure the other combine is empty, have I got this the wrong way around? I have. I know what I've done wrong here. So I've got to turn around again. Now can I get around? It's going to be quicker to do it this way than reversing all the way back. So I'm going to try and do it with as little damage to our wheat as possible. So what I need both combines at the other end of the field, so that this one can be emptied on the way up, and the other one, as it's on its way back down on that side there, can then be unloaded, and that way they'll be staggered at different levels, and I can literally run up one side of the field and then down the other side and keep a continuous unload process going with my wheat here. The only time it might possibly fall down is when I need to run back to the farm and unload the auger into the silo. That's the only hang-up that we could possibly have. So this one needs to be here. The other combine needs to be alongside on the other section. So let's pull that down to the bottom. So they're taking a little bit longer to actually get the harvest properly underway here. But now that it's set like this, it can just be a nice continuous run all the way through this field. So we should be able to knock it out within a couple of hours, I think, once we get started. So I'm hoping by 11 o'clock this field will be done, then we can move across and start targeting that field over there. That one's going to be a little trickier, as it always is, just simply because of its shape. You know, field 45, can't really see very clearly on the mini-map. You can see obviously that kind of boot shape with the curly toes. Makes it a little bit tricky to do, you know, automatically like this. But here we go. So if we get this combine up and running here, there we go, and get that combine up and running there. And then if I quickly tab through, get back into the Magnum. Need to run down the centre. And there we go. We're now perfectly set to unload the half-full combine on our right, which has just hit the 80% warning, as you see the lights flashing there. And then when we get to the top, we can turn around and we can tack the other combine, which is empty at the moment, on the way down. And we can just keep unloading like this in a perfectly synchronized movement. Okay, so now comes the test. How quickly can I get back to the fields and get ready to unload? I get a feeling that if I can't tag this combine that I've just started to unload again before it gets to the top of the field, it might be a little bit too late. So I might have to bring a truck over just to help have an unload point. So I don't have to drive all the way back here. I can tag a truck at the end of a double pass just to save a bit of time, and then I can have up to 123,000 litres out before it needs to get, you know, over to the silos. Might make things a little bit quicker. I guess we'll see how quickly we can get this unloaded. Like I said, I would like to try and get back. The silos in the way. Would like to try and get back to that field before the combines get there. I'm looking to see if I can see them. It looks like they are just too far out of our draw distance for us to actually see them. I get the feeling that I can just see a little bit of the crop disappearing. Yeah, they've just reached the top of the field, so it's going to be turning. We might possibly see it turn into view. Not quite. But we might see the crop start to disappear at the very sort of top centre of the screen there. It takes a while to unload 53,000 litres, doesn't it? There we go. Yeah, I can see that there is a step in the crop. There's the combine. You can see it's on the other way down, on the way back down again. So that might actually fill up. I don't think I was able to take enough out of it for that one to keep running. We can definitely tag the other one, the furthest away. And I think I might need to bring a truck over. Just get a peek into the grain bin, see how full it is. I might get away with that, that's not too bad. It's not overflowing yet. This one's got more in it, that's just hit 80%, so I think we might just get away with this. It's going to be tight, I think. Still quite a bit of the pass left. And he just hit 80%, so I think we'll be okay. I think we can get away with this. As long as we get him right at the start of that pass, we'll be alright. Let's just roll across. Excellent stuff. So I said I'd hope to be done by 11 o'clock. We might be done quicker than that if we can keep this going like this. As you can see, we're just running straight up and down, and then, you know, as long as we can get the unload of the auger done at the right time, we've got more than enough time to, well, just about enough time to get back to the field again and carry that automatic unloading back on again. So I will continue to work away on this field, and I will catch up to you when we're almost done. So we're pretty much done with this field. We've got a second pass remaining over here after this one on this side, and I'm not sure what's left over there actually. I guess we'll go and have a look in just a second. There we go. Let's trundle our way over here. Is that worker done? No, he's turning, so there must be a thin strip on that side as well. So yeah, essentially we're just about finished, and there you can see just enough space for that combine to turn there. That's why we did a double header at the top here. Now can we get all of that in a single pass? Can't tell how much is there. There's nothing left on the other side, so yeah. And don't forget as well, we had that little step in. Just there as well, where we first cut our way up the field. Cheeky, I'm not far enough across, am I? This is tricky. Let's get lined up, and then we'll go first person, I think. Be easier. There we go. So that's unloading nicely. This is the last section on here, and the other combine is on its last pass as well. So this field all but done. We're going to be done just before 11 o'clock, which is good. Gives us a little bit of time to kind of turn things around, get positioned over onto the second field, and then we'll get hold of that. I have spoken to Sam of Manning's on the phone. He has agreed to hold on to our equipment for us. Still waiting on one final piece to be delivered. But he will hold on to that for us, and we'll go and collect that tomorrow. And we're going to get some contractors out, and they're going to build another shed for us. And that'll be a storage point for our beat equipment. And I've ended up spending pretty much everything I had. We had 1.1 million. The figure I quoted was for my combine, the beat combine, the Terrados, the smaller of the two Terrados, the modded version. Plus a 9-row header and a trailer full header, and also for a Terra variant with an auger for beats. You see the other combines stopped there as well. That's now empty, and then that total price came to around about 850,000. Well, I've spent an extra 325 grand on top of that, and got a Terra Fellis as well. So we'll be able to dump the beats on the ground and then unload them, or pick them back up afterwards with the Terra Fellis. It's one of those nice bits of equipment that rarely gets used, so I figured, seeing as we're kind of going out with a bang this year, I figured we may as well splurge the extra cash that we could just about afford without touching our loan to get the Terra Fellis as well. So we're just waiting for the auger tank to be delivered for the Terra variant, and once that's done, we'll have all of the equipment that we need, and then just need the shed to be built. So that should go up hopefully this afternoon into early evening time. The crew will start working, and hopefully by morning that'll be constructed, and we'll have it probably somewhere over there, somewhere near our other combine shed. Keep all of our harvesting equipment relatively close together. So let's make a start on this field. Go along the top here, like so, and let's get our other combine. Over towards the bottom of the field. We'll start working along the bottom edge over there. We also do need to go and unload our auger as well. That is now getting close to full. And certainly isn't going to be able to take too much grain before that thing hits capacity. So we'll have to get that unloaded as well. And see just how much as well, before we do start work unloading on another field. I want to see just how much wheat we got off that first field, just for curiosity's sake. So I'll get this into position, I'll get the auger unloaded, and I will check back with you in just a moment. Our grain total is going up. We've cleared 100,000 quite comfortably off that first field. Where is it going to end? It's 124, 125,000 still going. $130. Just short of 135,000 litres. That's not bad for that one field, and we've got this field here to go as well, so we're going to end up again with a very large quantity of wheat this year. So let's get ready to take control of our combine in just a moment. What I want to do is try and put a nice little block across here. I think that should be far enough. There's our other combine. We'll need to empty that. So again, we're going to have a clunky start on this field while we kind of keep the combines operational. I decided to try something a little bit different this time as well, just running across the top of the field, which is something I don't normally do. I normally do a single pass and then kind of leave it at that, and go up and down the field, but this time I want to try going across the field instead. Oh, couldn't quite get there before it emptied, before it filled up. Let's just take a bit out and drive to the edge. Go about there. That should do it, I think. Yeah, there we go. So we use the combines. Just careful, don't chew my face off there, to quickly teleport between the two of them. Let's square off this section down here. I haven't got enough clearance. I don't think I do actually. I think I might clip the fence. So we are going to need another pass along the bottom here. Didn't quite. That's really close. Look how close that is. Oh, millimeters to spare. Just squeezed through that gap there. Wow, that was really close. But yeah, we'll square off this section of the field there. There's our combine turning. And starting back up along the top there again. And I'm going to clean out this section down here. And then we'll clean up a pass going up there as well. And as I say, we're going to try and cut this field into easy to work sections. Hopefully it'll improve how well we can turn this field over. I have no prediction as to how long this field's going to take, because I'm going to be, harvesting it in kind of an unorthodox manner. So yeah, very hard to predict on this one. We'll see. I don't know, maybe by 3 o'clock, maybe. We'll see. Another load in to the silo. I've got a nice clean cut line along the base there and up the side there. You can see that combine now finishing off its final sort of width across the top of the field. The other one parked up, I've just emptied it. That one I'm running manually. kind of do the twiddly bits along the bottom there, and now to do that section there. And I'm getting ready to now switch this combine over. Oh, he's left a thin strip, look. Thought we might have been able to actually just run all the way smoothly across that section. Okay, so I'll have to do a little bit of tidying up. But I'm going to switch the direction of this one now and get him to run up and down this section here. There's a nice clean area to work in. So let's just get him unloaded. See the tank drain there. And that's got him empty. Let's just move out of the way. Jump out. Jump in. Getting low on fuel on this. Gonna have to top this one up again pretty soon. Repositioned and started. There we go. So we'll leave that there. Quickly jump back in this so I can teleport to the other ones quicker that way. There we go. So this is what I've been doing over here. Obviously we've got that thin strip that we need to clear off. Been working away, trying to clear out all this section around here now that the other part is done. So we'll do a straight line down here. And we'll do a straight line across the bottom and clean that up, and then we'll have a nice little sort of rectangular block here that we can work with for our AI, just to complete this field. Getting close to 1 o'clock, so we're making pretty good time. I don't think we'll be done by 2, but somewhere in the region, I think between 2:30 and 3 is looking like a more likely kind of finish time. Just try and pivot here. That. Go across the field here, come back along the bottom, and then we can swoop into that section, and then do a second pass there, and then tidy up whatever remains here, and then we can send him up and down this section just here. Shouldn't take too long to get done once we get onto that bit there. I think we're going to have a little bit left over. I pivoted maybe just a fraction too early. There we go. We're getting closer and closer to the release of Farm Sim 19, and one of the things I am looking forward to is the chopped straw texture that we've seen in gameplay footage. I still haven't seen it officially confirmed that that's in the console version as well as the PC version. I hope it is. Really hope it is. And I still don't know if it's going to work the same way as the chopped straw mod on PC, which should, to the best of my knowledge, add a stage of fertilizer to the field. I hope that's going to be the case as well. Otherwise it's just a visual effect that doesn't really do anything. We've got a great demand for wood chips. We haven't done any logging so far, and we're not going to start now. Oh, we've got a great demand for wool. Excellent. That's going to last for 18 hours. So that'll go through until, let's see, 7 o'clock in the morning. That's quite useful to have, because we do have some wool left over from the last load that we sold on a great demand. So hopefully we can get a really good price on that. We'll just pivot this around here and just tidy up these little stretches just here. Get the worker started on the up and down run, and then we'll check out the price. And it's an 18-month price as well. So we'll also, sorry, an 18-hour price as well. So we'll check the price now. We'll check it again in a couple of hours to see if it's fluctuated at all. And we'll also be checking the predictions to see if the suggested price for wool is supposed to be higher tomorrow. Because if it is, that means that we can actually sell the wool tomorrow and get a better price than we could get today. So let's have a look. 7.4. That's not too bad. Could be better. Let's have a look at the predictions for wool. You see, we're in that kind of rough window. The price showing for tomorrow, I think, is perhaps a slight anomaly. I'm not 100% convinced it will be that much better. It's probably going to be about the same as it is. The price might be, bottomed out at the moment, which indicates that it would fall, be lower now than it should be by a little bit, which means it would fall at midnight. It might be that the price showing as a prediction for tomorrow last year was a spike, a slight spike. So yeah, that's tough to call. We could save the wool just for later in the year when we're going to get potentially better predictions on our prices. And this one actually looks pretty accurate in terms of what the price is now compared to the sliding scale. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on this. We'll see where we're at. 7468. We'll check that again in a couple of hours and see if it has tweaked itself up or down a little bit. Let's check in with the other combine. He's almost full, so we'll tag him on the way down. Now our other combine's almost full as well, so we'll have to rush back and tag him as well. Not going to take us too much longer to get this field done now. Into the automated sections. The other one will be done much quicker than this one. The other combine has got a much smaller area to attack. This one's going to take probably another hour or so to process. The other one should be done in about 20-30 minutes, I would imagine, if that. It's a nice easy day of harvesting today. And I'm kind of toying with the idea of getting started with our sunflowers if we get finished really early. Get the first one of those fields out of the way now. Oh, it's just us blocking the combine as it was trying to turn. I thought the other worker had stopped for a second then. Now, can I get to him before he stops? Am I going to be able to unload him? Is he facing the wrong direction? He's coming up the hill, so I need to get him before he turns. Oh, no, he's stopped. Okay, well that kind of works. We can empty him, and then he can just run along there, do that section, and then we can just clear up that thin strip there once this area is cleared out. But yeah, as I say, really looking forward to trying out chopped straw. Really hope that is going to be part of the console-based game as well as the PC. That could be an interesting way for us to approach our field fertilisation, if that's the case. And would it work out better to do chopped straw and fertilise the field for free, or would it work out better to sell the straw and spend the money on the fertiliser, which would make us, well, which would save us the most money, I suppose would be the right way to look at it. It's definitely an experiment that we'll have to try at some point. Right, let's get this field finished. So I've cleaned out that strip along the top there, as you can see. Now, because it's still really early, I'm going to be done by 2:30 at the very latest here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and drop these headers back on their dollies, and we're going to start our sunflower harvest today. We might only get one of the fields done, So, actually no, thinking about it, I need to make some silage before the stuff that we have in our silo runs out. So, let's break out the Big M. That might be the way to go. We get the Big M on there and we start cutting up the field and scooping it up, sticking it into our silo, just like we did at the end of spring. That way we'll have a couple of days for that to ferment, and we can have that done by, or have that available by mid-autumn, rather than at the end of the year when we're going to get to a point where we probably won't need it because we'll be getting ready to sell off our livestock. And I honestly don't know if what we've got in stock is going to be enough. I think it probably will be, truth be told, but we can at least sell it. Our orchard will have wound down by the end of autumn anyway. So yeah, we'll get these cleaned and we'll get these put away, and we'll break out the Big M and we'll do a little bit more mowing. I think that's probably the best way for us to go about this. So let's try and get this positioned about right. This is always a fiddly bit, trying to get the headers lined up properly. That looks pretty good. There we go. And we'll take this into the depot for a quick clean. The other one will have to refuel at the farm, so we'll clean that one there. We just park that there. Spray it off. There we go. And tomorrow we will attack our sunflowers. So let's position this one in the bay. There we go, in the header, as you can see, ready and waiting. We won't connect it up, we'll do that tomorrow. There we go. So this combine is done. Now we need to get the next one. And have we finished the field? I think we have. Fantastic stuff. So with our field finished, we can get this one refueled. I'm going to take this one over to the farm. We can unload it by the refuel point while it's refueling, because it's going to take a little while to get that tank topped up. Several hundred litres going to need to go into this thing. Question is, can I actually get through here comfortably without hitting anything? I should be fine. I'm going to take a nice wide berth around the silo. Just here, we've got plenty of space. We've got good ground clearance as well. And we can even clean this at the same time, but we'll get the grain out of it first. Don't want to risk getting that grain wet. So let's just pull forward. Reposition this a little bit better so that we've got space for the auger to get through. There we go. And let's start the refuel process. Let's take a look and see what our final week count is. 7468 on the price of the wool. That hasn't changed. I'll need to think about whether I'm going to sell tonight or not. 249,889 litres. So a fraction there, a hair underneath 250,000. That's pretty good. That's a nice, decent haul. So we need to still get that combine cleaned off. So I'm going to fold the auger in, turn the engine off for a moment. And fold the cover up as well. And let's get the big M up and running. The quicker we can get this cut, the quicker we can get on with collecting it and loading it into the bunker. There we go. Nice. He just doesn't want to work there because he's right on the edge of the workable area. You can just see that brown line and then the light green on the right hand side. Just clipped the fence there. There we go. This will be really quick in terms of the mowing. We've seen how quick this thing is. Really does just chew through the fields so fast. Get to the top and we'll put a turn in. Actually, let's see which way he goes. I might just we're gonna have to tidy the field up a bit afterwards anyway. We'll just let him run. So while he's doing that, we'll get our combine put away. I think that's going to be the thing to do. So combine should be right about there. There it is. Oh, I need to wash it, don't I? Might as well, seeing as it's here, right next to a wash point. You may as well do it here and take it around the back. And I need to get a tractor over to the depot as well to put the headers away and close the shed down, ready for tomorrow. There we go. Actually, let's take this over first. Yeah, we might as well quickly give this a wash while we're right next to a pressure washer. I'm not so worried about the tractor, it's more this that I'm worried about. We can clean the tractor at any point. It's going to get muddy again at some point later today. I'm almost certain of that. The last piece of equipment that we needed, that we were waiting on, has arrived. That is the beat tank for the Terra variant. But I only had one slot left. So to make space for it, I had to sell the Cedar. And because it's had a lot of use, an awful lot of use since we bought it, and we've had it for a while now, it's depreciated to the point where we only got around about 35 grand for it. Not much at all. But we needed to clear up a bunch of slots. And that was a big piece of equipment that was using up a lot of slots. 28 slots for the Great Plains YP2425A. That's a lot for an official in-game piece of equipment rather than a mod. So we got rid of that. You know, we managed to convince Sam to take that in part exchange. And as I say, we got somewhere between 30 and 35 grand for it. Not a huge amount. But that has freed up enough slots for us to be able to bring in the last of our equipment. So that's why our cash is kind of only at around 49,000 as opposed to lower than that, you know, because the auger tank was quite expensive. I think 67,000 or 61,000, somewhere. It's over 60 grand for the tank, and you know, our money's only gone down a little bit, about 25 grand. So that explains why we're at just under 50 grand at the moment. Oops. Try and get in without crashing into the walls here. There we go. Let's get the headers put away. Or the header. So Again, clear up the way so we can drop the next header on that trailer there. I need to unlock the door on this side though. Again, we can only do this from the inside. Can't do it from the exterior. A little bit of hurdling there. It's the Farm Olympics. Now we can just drive this in, get this parked up, and we won't need this header again now. There we go. I suppose I could have just sold these headers off rather than the seeder, but you know, we don't need the seeder. We don't need the seeder again for the rest of the year, so let's see, can I? There we go. Let's get the second combine cleaned, folded up, put away, and then we'll work on getting some silage in, or some chaff in the bunker, and we can start making silage overnight. So the pit is now fully finished in terms of being loaded. I need to start squashing this down and then getting it all compacted. Let's try and set the blade at a nice high angle to get started. Low cruise control speed and just gradually start sloping this back. I've been able to actually get a really good finish across most of this, as you can see, just with the way I've been ramping up to unload. So it's mostly kind of condensed already in some respects. There's not much pushing going to be needed this time out. Just need to kind of smooth out the entrance way over here where it's going to be at different heights, and then get it pushed as close to the the stack as possible. But there's not much gap, as you can see, that needs to be filled now. It's almost completely done, so this shouldn't take too long, and then it'll be a case of just making sure it's compacted, and then we'll get it blanketed and it'll start fermenting overnight, ready for use in a couple of days. So that's it for the end of another episode here. As I say, when we come back tomorrow, hopefully our new facility for our beet harvesting equipment will be ready. Construction crew has arrived and they are busy working away in the far corners of our property over near the combine shed, and we will start our sunflower harvest tomorrow as well. Looking forward to getting that done, and then on to Sunday when we'll finally start our beet harvest. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with another episode of Lone Oak Farm very soon.